Hormozi shares that example of the bottom 10% days.
That's right.
And I think that it was one of the most profound things I've ever heard him say.
I thought it was great
like,
too.
Yeah, he's like, do you expect to enjoy your bottom 10% days? And you're like, nah. Like, that makes sense. Like, if you think about the worst 10% days, it's like, then I'm not going to enjoy them.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, you're going to have 36 of those a year.
Yeah, a year.
Yeah.
So
you're going to have 3 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. Like, just fucking. So
Just
sometimes
accept it.
it's just that day.
That's it.
And you don't have to go and
You
rejig your
don't have to
whole life.
relive, but you don't have to relive that day after it's over either.
No, you just got to say, okay,
here's
cool,
where the I think the biggest issue is people make those 10%, they make it 25, 30%. They turn it into that. So it's a 10% day, but then they prolong it with how they approach things, with the shit on the freeway. They prolong those 10 days when they're not actually bad.
So you're saying people hold on to stuff?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't think they know any better. I don't think that in their state of mind and where they're at, they don't know any better. They're agitated. They lean into it. I think it's easy to get angry. It's easier to be upset, and depressed and sad and all that sort of shit. I think it's easier to do that than not to be.
Yeah, but so there's two sides to this. I think one, I learned this from Tony Robbins, and he talks about your emotional home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, we all have our emotional home. He shares this story where he talks about how people that live in areas that are like a very cyclone, like say, for example, like far north Queensland, right? If you're from far north Queensland, you're listening to this, let us know. But it's like those areas are very hurricane, cyclone heavy. I'm pretty sure like in Port Douglas, I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard like they got to tape up the windows during cyclone season.
Yeah, right.
Like they put an X on the window so it doesn't shatter. And it's like, okay, these people, that's their home. And what happens, like a cyclone comes in or a hurricane comes in or some sort of natural disaster comes in, tears the whole place down. They leave while it's happening. And then as soon as it's gone, what do? They come back and they rebuild. He's like, why? Because that's their home. He's like, as humans, you have chosen, for whatever reason, when you're a kid or something, like you've chosen what your emotional home is going to be. For whatever reason, you were rewarded for it. You got upset as a kid and then, you know, everyone gave you what you wanted. And you learned, oh, like when I get sad, I get what I want, or whatever behavior that is. When I was happy, my life was better, or blah, blah, blah. You know, everyone's different based on your experiences. But that becomes your emotional home and you will always go back there by default, unconsciously. You know what I mean? And it's like you need to understand that. And then if you're not happy with what that emotional home is, for some people it's like anger. Like anger's their driving emotion. Yeah. For some people it's sadness. You know, it's the feeling of like helplessness. It's like, cool, like, you know, every time I've you know, gone into my helplessness state, someone's come in and done it for me. So like whenever I just get stuck, and this is not, then it's not conscious thinking. They don't say, hey, I'm stuck, I'm going to sit here and be helpless and someone's going to help me. It's just by default. They go back into that state and that's what they've unconsciously learned, right? When you walk, you don't think, hey, Robbie, right foot first. Yeah. Like you just fucking walk. This is the same sort of concept. Yeah. Actually, you just go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your subconscious takes you there.
Yeah. And I think having an understanding of that and understanding, oh, like, you know, I always feel like this. And it's like when you understand that this is where I might unconsciously be driving myself, you can then do something about it. Because like you need to be aware of what it is before you can do anything about it, right? And that concept really changed me. And then the other one was like Gary Vee talks about, because you just shared, it's like, oh, okay, the person holds on to things and I think one of the best ways to let things go is it's like empathy. It's like, you know, that guy, I could have got angry about that guy getting angry this morning. Yeah. I could have been like, hey man, what a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? You slow down, you're a fuckwit, blah, 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 and absolutely went off my chops.
Yeah.
I could have.
Yeah.
Instead, I looked at him and I thought, poor bugger. Like, you know, he's not enjoying this morning.
Very true. Very true. It's a great way to look at it and it just reframes everything. And I think, you know, you mentioned to me this last night, actually, one of our videos on $1 Million Days Instagram page blew up.
Yeah.
But are you getting a lot of negative comments on what we had spoken about in that clip? And you're like, It's funny, your missus, you were going to send it to me. Like, you're ready. You did send it to me.
I was like,
pumped. And your missus is like, no, don't send it to him. You'll ruin his night.
Yeah.
It's like, ruin his night.
I was like, I'm going to make his night.
He's going to be so happy. This is going to be the greatest thing. And it's like, I'll see those negative comments on there. And I was doing most of the talking in this clip. So most of them were directed to me. And you're saying stuff like people calling me a clown, can't beat up a blowfly. I'm saying a whole range of things. So for context as well, I'm talking about a client that got in my face many, many years ago, and
I think
starting to be
last or
it was a couple of
ago.
episodes ago, but the incident happened many years ago, and it was the only time I've ever bitten back at a client and said, if you get in my face again, if you put your finger in my face again, I'm going to break it. Like, don't fucking come near me. I'm going to see it as an act of aggression, right? And it was like, anyway, got blown up that scenario, but then also in the video. And it's like, I'm looking at all these people leaving these comments. They don't understand the situation. They don't understand the timing. They don't understand the conversation as a whole, because it was a 30-second clip of a hour-and-a-half episode. And they're coming on there and commenting about me to bring me down to feel better about themselves. Like, I feel like, are you all right, man? Do you need a hug? Like, I don't feel angry at those people. I don't feel resentment towards them. It's like, I feel empathy. Like, well, man, if you have enough time to stop what you're doing in your life, watch a 30-second clip, and then on top of that, go into the comment section and write, you're a fucking flog, and then go on to the next post, man, your shit's broken.
Yeah, I think Gary Vee actually talks about that as well. He's like,
Yeah.
so he goes, so there's a million things about me. He goes, you watch a 30-second clip and you're going to make your judge on me?
Yeah.
He's like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know anything
And why
about me.
that's why he doesn't get upset over that.
He's like,
and
"You don't
that was
know
a
me."
massive thing for me when I started to create content, is I don't care about what people say. All right. Unless like, if you're going to go and be real specific about, say, people I care about, or if you're going to go and say something just inappropriate, racist or derogatory, whatever it might be, then okay, then I'll delete the comment. I'll probably block you so we don't spend money on ads on you. So there'll be aspects of that. But ultimately, again, I still look at you and go, man, your shit's broken. Like it's funny. Ever since we ran ads, or ever since we've been running ads over the last 3 years, 4 years for our events and whatnot, you do see a lot of that. You know how many people would comment on an ad that we run in a negative way? So you don't know what you're talking about. You're a shit builder. You're this.
Yeah,
you're
dude.
this. It's comical.
I saw a comment on one of my ads the other day, and the guy goes, I wish this guy had one clue about what he was talking about. And I'm talking to a room full of 100 builders, and I'm like,
Oh, about you?
I just replied saying lol.
Yeah.
like that's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
The fact that you went out of your way to comment.
No, exactly right. And they don't understand. Like, little do they know that you've toured Australia for the last 3-4 years and spoken in front of thousands of builders about this exact topic. And they've then taken you up on whatever you're talking about, and you've got them the results. And so why are you going to get upset over that? Why is that going to ruin your day now? And if you can take that whole comment approach with social media, for example, and then apply that to the rest of your life, like as we said, this guy is like, oh man, must be in a rush to get somewhere. I better get out of his way. Or maybe, and let's look at context. This guy was doing 150 on the freeway. Maybe he had to get to the hospital because his mum was dying.
Oh yeah, or maybe his missus was having a kid in the back or something.
And then this guy's in there blocking him from going 80, and then granted the guy slowed down and started to abuse him, but you don't know the whole concept behind that. Or maybe that, as I said, straw that broke a camel's back. I'm trying to get to see my mum, and you're trying to stop me, and you're a dickhead, and really giving it to him. And then he speeds off again. Who knows?
And there's also, sometimes, like, that was what I saw this morning. Sometimes that gets blown way out of proportion. It's like, cool, they get out and they start fighting or worse.
Seen that before?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
You've seen that
it's
before too. People get out of the car.
Yeah, and it's like, man, like, this is why? Because he cut you off?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going as fast as you'd like? Because he was a bit closer to you than you'd like?
So silly. When I see that, that's just ridiculous. When people will get out of the car.
Yeah, it's just out of control.
It is. Then it's that next level when people are going to get out of the car because they slam the brakes or whatever it might be and start punching on. I'm like, man, so ridiculous.
That's the world we live in, though.
Great entertainment, but so ridiculous.
Okay, so for someone listening who might be like, you know what, fuck, I get home and I'm not showing up the way I want to be, or I'm finding that, I crack the shits on the road, or I'm flipping out at my kids or my missus or my husband or my parents, family, relationships, workers, employees,
Mm.
subcontractors. You know what I mean? What did that person do? Like what, okay, cool. Like there's all these tips.
I don't think everything you've done to date isn't working. That's the first thing. Understand that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to fix this by thinking about fixing it. You know what I mean? I can't remember who said this. It's like, actually, I think it was Chris Williams. Williamson. We always get that wrong.
It's because of his stupid Instagram.
Yeah, Willex or whatever.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Get your shit together, Chris.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.